Hey, what's going on, CSGORoll Degens? My name is Aiden, and welcome back to another video here on CSGORoll. Today's a little bit more of an informational type of video. I'm just going to be going over the withdraw process as a whole from 3 different player perspectives, being, your average player, someone who maybe is just coming onto site, playing with a little bit of money and, getting some skins to play with. The trader, someone who spends a lot of time here, and then someone who flips items as well, however they may do that and whatever platform they may do that on. So with that being said, it's gonna be a different type of video. We're gonna go over everything there. Lots of information to take in, so if you feel the need to pause, go ahead, do so. And if you guys have any questions, any at all, you can feel free to drop me a comment and I will be answering them as much as I possibly can. On another note, before we start, we're getting really close to 3K, so if you guys do enjoy, find the guide helpful, please subscribe, leave me a like. It's very, very appreciated. Like I said, we're super freaking close, like 30 subs or something like that. So yeah, guys, thank you all so much, and let's get right into it. All right, so the first type of CSGORoll player we're going to kind of be covering in this withdraw guide would be just the average player, someone who has maybe a few coins, few hundred coins, maybe even a few thousand coins. They don't know what to withdraw, maybe it's their first time playing, and we're just, we're going to really go into what specifically applies to them. So a big thing being the percentages or the markup at the top. Obviously, you have all these percentages, and basically, just to break it down in the easiest, most simple way to understand, 0% is the item's cost. Like if you were to buy it on Steam, that's the cost, 0%. Anything above that is an additional markup that another player is added to the item, whether it's for, a reason of like a pattern, stickers, floats, something like that, or they just think the item's worth more and they want to get more out of it. That's what markup is. Ideally, if you are playing on site, you want to avoid it as much as possible. But if you go to like 10% and best deals, it's going to show the lowest. So these are all 0% items. These exclamation mark warning signs and these lightning bolts, all 0%. But as you slowly start to climb up, you see like 5%, 7%, so on. This is moving really, really fast. Let me set a minimum here. It's going to show you the cheapest thing first. That being said, if you want to filter specifically, type of item, skin, or finish, you can just type, Autotronic up there in the search bar, and it's only going to show you Autotronics, knife specifically. So this way, with the best deals, you have your Autotronic in your search bar, and it's going to show you lowest percent first. This is something really important to pay attention to because you can save yourself quite a few coins having that extra little bit of mindfulness on your items. If you look at this is 8.9%, and it's not the greatest example, but say you were to buy another field tested Autotronic, not this 8.9% one, but say this 9.4 or even a 9.5 or higher, these skins are costing you an extra 20 coins, 30 coins, which is almost another skin if you're just buying very mid skins. So it's just something to think about. You can save yourself some time, some money, maybe even a little bit of heartache if you then realize that you didn't get the right one. So just something to keep in mind, as well as if you're looking for something specific in a price range, the best way to do it really is I always set my max balance in here when I'm looking at withdraw, so I'm not looking up. It keeps me from thinking, oh, well, I can just run up another battle. I can make this, X amount of coins and come up to it. So, say my balance was 500. I'm going to set it to 500, so nothing above that shows. So that way, I don't think about going back in. I just am thinking about withdrawing. And then, obviously, you set your minimum price and set your type. So, we want a USPS in this price range. Well, cool. Now they're right here. We can see percentages. The best deal shows up first. So yeah, that is in my mind the most ideal way to withdraw just as a normal player. You're gonna save yourself time, you're gonna save yourself money, and obviously the best options are gonna show up first. All right, so the next person I want to cover, or the next type of player I want to cover, is the trader. There's a lot less of these on site, and there are some more notorious and less notorious ones, and this guide even covers people who want to start this. So if this is what you need to get yourself going, I hope it helps. But specifically, you're going to be looking at this max markup percentage a lot. Obviously, this more than 12 is the starting. You see all of these items. Ideally, you want to start at 0, and if there are some items in 0%, but say there aren't, you go up your 2%. Okay, maybe there's not items here, so you go up to 5%. Okay, now there's items here. So you just want to start as low as possible in your percentages. Be really picky about what you're pulling out, which I'll go over some items that maybe you should rethink pulling out, because they're going to be harder to redeposit and, you know, so on. But like right just then there was that slaughter knife that popped in, and that's a very low percent. Just things to be paying attention to, as percent can be your best friend or your worst enemy when it comes to making profit on site. Also, this order buy button is another very useful tool. Best deals will always put the cheapest or lowest percent item, even if it's something that's marked under 0% or the item's price, it will always show first. So that's something you want to pay attention to. But for sake of example, we're just going to go to 12%. So there's some more items to look at. So items ideally you want to avoid with trading. Really cheap items aren't worth your time, in the sense that items that are like 1 coin, 2 coins, even with a 10% markup, you're gonna make 0.10 of a coin. It's gonna take you very long amount of time to, you know, have a turnover and profit, versus maybe say, I don't know, 150 coin item or 125 coin item, whatever your starting price is. Just thinking about what percentages you can make on things and not overly diversifying what you're trading. So to specifically go into what you kind of want to avoid, personally, when I trade, stickers are a huge no for me, simply because they're, besides, you know, your Titan hollows, your Vox, so on and so forth, those really rare and desired stickers, a lot of times very specific people want a very specific sticker. So if I'm getting this, you know, simple Columbus sticker, someone may not withdraw it for a very long amount of time, until there's someone who, you know, maybe has like an AK Vulcan and they want to do craft, or someone who's, you know, a simple fan and really wants a sticker to put on whatever. It may take a very long amount of time for that person, that right person who's interested, to come along and withdraw it. And obviously when you're trading, you want to flip the item as quick as possible. You want to withdraw something with your coins, and then you want to deposit something and get more coins, you know, as fast as possible. Another thing I really try and avoid is stat track knives. If you do any sort of trading on Buff or, you know, Skinport or any of those other kind of sites, stat track knives do not sell well at all. They take a very long amount of time to sell, and oftentimes they are worth less than their non-stat track counterparts. So just something to think about. It's all about time, you know, respect yourself, respect your time, because the less time that you're spending on this one item is more time you can be spending on other items, you know, trading or paying attention to feeds, and, you know, withdrawing that 0% knife. So just something to think about. Stat track skins don't seem to be an issue. A lot of people don't mind them, but they do tend to jump the price on things. So obviously the more expensive something is, it may cause it to take longer to be withdrawn. So just something to think about there. Lastly, guys, I do want to cover people who flip, and this is specifically on CSGORoll. Do keep in mind that if you are taking items from CSGORoll's ecosystem and deciding to flip them elsewhere, I am not at all part of that. I do not support it. I believe that CSGORoll does as well as it does because of all the support it has from players, you know, bringing skins in, so that people who get nice wins, and, you know, whatever amount that is, whatever a nice win qualifies to them, that they're able to withdraw a skin. And that also allows the website to stay up longer, because they're not sourcing skins from a skin, you know, buy and sell website. So just to keep that in mind, please respect CSGORoll's TOS. I'm not telling anyone to do anything outside of CSGORoll's ecosystem. I am purely talking about specifically flipping items on CSGORoll. That being said, you have to micromanage your percentages. You have to be watching those. I suggest a spreadsheet. For the people that I know that flip items within CSGORoll, they have a spreadsheet that denotes every item, what they bought it for, what the percentage was on it, and then what they're going to sell it at. So, you know, obviously you have your 0% like this, and typically 0% cop and then selling at 6% gives you a pretty good margin. It sells pretty quick. You know, even for cheaper skins under 100, you might be able to go higher, just, you know, to push that little bit of extra profit, because, you know, 12% on 14, only like 1.4 or 1.6. It's very marginal, very small. And then with flipping, also items at a low percent may not always be the items you want to get. You know, as you can see, there are a lot of stickers at a low percentage. What I also talked about with the trading, you know, player type, on site is that honestly should be avoided in a lot of cases unless they're highly desirable. There's always a reason that something's on low percent. Sometimes maybe that the player just wants it to sell very quickly so that they can go and gamble, but a lot of times with the more expensive stuff, it's because they're having a hard time selling. There's not really many people who want that kind of thing. So yeah, just something to think about. You really don't want to get stuck with something that's like 5,000 coins that you can't get rid of because nobody wants it. I've had that happen in the past. A really specific situation was a Stat Track Bayonet or Bowie Black Pearl. No one wanted it. I literally sat and withdraw or deposit for such a long time waiting for someone to get that. That was just a great example of it's not really a desired item. I had it at 6% and it still took almost 2 days for someone to try and withdraw it. So just something to think about if you're going to flip items on site. You almost always want to have at least like a 2% margin when you flip it. Buy it at 0%, sell it at 6. Buy it at 6%, sell it at 8. That's going to be the best way to make profit here on site. And no, you're not making real world currency because once again, against TOS. But when you're starting to make profits on your items, when you're flipping 1,000 coins and you're making 120 coins profit on each flip, that's money that you now don't have to deposit to site if that's something that you want to do. You want to keep gambling, or that's 120 coins that you can buy new skins with and have an even cooler inventory in the long run. So yeah, that's just something to think about. That's how I've thought about trading on site in the past and flipping on site in the past. So yeah, that's just very specifically how I would do it. It may not be the best way. If anyone has any alternatives or any, suggestions to improve on that, because that's not something I've done really at all, leave me a comment, and if it checks out, I'll make sure that I pin it so that everyone can see it. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate each and every one of you that made it to the end here. I hope the information was useful. I tried my very best to compile everything from all the different people that I've spoken to and all the different examples that I've seen of some of these practices. So I hope everything was, as up to par as it could be. But with that being said, if you guys would like to help me out, would like to support me and get yourself some free money on site, you can head on up to deposit in the upper right. Go ahead and enter the code AG5, or if you're feeling, extra special, you can enter the code SPICY, which is an extra 3 characters long. Hit that apply button. That'll get you 5% bonus on everything but CSGO items on deposit. So yeah guys, thank you all so very much for watching. I really appreciate all of you, and I'll see you tomorrow for another video. Peace.